Hello, Internet, and welcome to Lords of Misrule. As you can see, we are running with a small crew here today, with my co-hosts, Savannah and Alex, joining me. Thank you guys for being here.
Happy to be here, Sean. Thanks for having us.
We're just going to do a talk show here today.
Yay!
No, I don't want to talk that much.
Well, then why are you DMing this game, sir?
That's true. Well, I don't consider it me talking when it's through other characters. That's other Sean talking. But yeah, so we had a couple of players that weren't able to make it here today, or most of the players.
A couple.
We had a couple who could make it.
You mean a couple of us made it, and I sped home from work to get here on time.
Yeah.
Not
I
literally
thought about coming up
speeding,
with some
don't
sort of
speed,
audience interaction for this, but I really couldn't come up with anything clever, and or was too busy playing Breath of the Wild to think of anything. So this episode brought to you by The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, now available on Switch. I don't have a tagline for that. But yeah, so thank you for watching. That's going to be it for us today. I'm done. Okay, we should probably start at some point. A couple of announcements before we get going. We had some streams over the last week for you to catch up on. We had, one stream over the last week. We had some we played some video games over like last weekend that are going up on YouTube or will be available on YouTube shortly.
They're up there.
Yeah. But we had our newest session of Wonder World Origins on Thursday, which
Wonder World Origins.
Wonder World Origins. You'll get that if you watch it. Yeah. So it was once again is a very entertaining campaign. We're doing teenage superheroes using the mask system, which is incredibly popular right now. So if you're interested in the system or you haven't had a chance to play it, or you just want more teenage superhero angst and drama, check it out. Coming up, we have our next session of Wild Space on Monday. That one is going to be a thrilling conclusion to a character arc, or one of the characters' stories at this point. Won't spoil too much in case you are not caught up, or in case you're interested in watching the show from the beginning, but it's very dramatic. And what session number are we on right now? Like 20 something?
Late 20s?
A lot.
Yeah.
We're almost at 30.
Yeah. So if you're going to start from the beginning, 20 something episodes in, that's the one to watch. So check it out. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then this coming Wednesday is going to be the next release of our Cyberscape podcast. We did a little teaser on that, which is up on Twitter right now, of one of the funnier moments from the session, and one of the most memorable moments of the session that has redefined the show from that point forward, as you will see as it unfolds. We've recorded a couple beyond that that will be going up over the next month, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So check that out. It should be going up, is scheduled to go up at 8 a.m. on Wednesday Eastern time. I don't think I have anything else. We will probably have some scheduling changes over the next month with the holidays coming up, as most streamers and shows tend to do. Some of our shows might be taking breaks, people might be traveling, so keep an eye out for that. Nothing's set in stone yet. We're going to see who all is going to be here, but as always, check out our Twitter for updates on that. I think that's it. Anybody else? Any announcements? Anything that I missed? No? We saw this as we were coming up live. I think G just hit his 1-year subscriber badge to the channel. That is amazing. Thank you so much for supporting us over the last year. That is wonderful. Your prize is in the mail. It'll be there shortly.
It's this hug.
It's that cat. We're gonna
No, it's not. You can't have my cat.
Anyway, thank you for supporting us, G Master. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So buckle up and stay tuned for this next thrilling installment of Lords of Misrule. And welcome back. Previously on Lords of Misrule, your gang, your club, I don't really have a better, I keep wanting to say adventuring party, but don't really feel like adventures to me. Your criminal organization has set their sights on a new job, a new enterprise. You had received some information that a Zartano banker had been involved in this conspiracy to assassinate important political figures in Gothford, specifically with ties to the Mephistosi. You had tracked this conspiracy to the manager of one of the first imperial banks, one of the larger banks in Gothford, and seeking the best way to accomplish this task, Haran suggested that you speak with a individual known as Father Basil. You met this holy man who helped you prepare and organize a heist of the bank, which we planned out Ocean's 11 style over the course of the episode. You then carried out this heist, breaking into the bank or infiltrating the bank through the use of clever ruses and some not so clever ruses, just ruses all over the place. As this plan kind of came to fruition, and welcome back. Thank you for bearing with us on that. Looks like we had some issues. I don't know exactly when it started or if anything that I said as far as our announcements or anything got through. That'll be up later this week, Wednesday. I'm not going to repeat all that because we're already starting a bit late, but thank you for bearing with us. So like I said, after we're going to go and start on the aftermath of the heist. Seb and Cordelia, the two of you are sitting at a table in the in Clove's laundry joint, and you're sitting across from Haran, who is piecing through some documents and says, so looks like everything went pretty smooth. GPD showed up just a little bit after I guess y'all left, but you guys made a pretty clean escape. Nothing doesn't look like they're looking for you. Anything you guys have to report or any information you have? Do you know who's behind all of this now?
Before this, did we talk about whether or not we were telling Haran what we found?
You guys can decide that right now if you want.
Yeah. It might help if we knew, because you mentioned a little bit about the Draconisi being, a dragon faction that was kicked out of the family. I guess I'm just trying to think, do we have any reason we wouldn't tell him, given, especially now that this seems to be, not one of the four major families? I feel like it's pretty okay to tell him.
I mean, I'll say as far as any popular knowledge would go on the Draconisi, that you have no reason to believe that they are still affiliated with anyone in the city, other than this correspondence now that this supposedly Zartano guy was working for them, or at least doing some business for them. So a cat scurries by.
Oh, don't you have bartending to do?
Let me get some.
Yeah, I guess we can tell him.
Yeah. If for no other reason, then it'll help move the plot along.
That works.
Yeah, that
Plot's
sounds good.
always
Let's
good.
do that.
Well, Cordelia over here has the papers, but apparently it goes even past the Zartano. Got the, what was it, the Draconisi involved.
Shockingly.
The who?
The dragons. She's the one who knows more about them. I just remembered the name. I wanted to sound like I knew what I was talking about.
As usual. You've never heard of them? The old dragon family.
Oh, crap. Yeah, no, I Ash is not a name you hear very often these days.
No shit.
I didn't even know were any of them left. You think the Zartano have some sort of business with the Draconisi?
Well, we've got papers that say so.
All right. Crap, I don't even know who really to go with it. I mean, I guess the contract is for the Mephistosi. We should just collect our reward from them.
Yeah, I mean, let them know that, hey, you got dragons breathing down your neck. Last
Yeah.
I checked, dragon breath, not so good.
I'm sure they'd love to know.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be a talking point tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Why don't you give me any documents that you have and I'll turn them over.
We have made copies of these documents.
I definitely would have, though.
Sure. I'm okay with working with that.
I've been stealing people's signatures for like a month, so I
That's
feel
fine.
like
I mean,
I have copies
it's
of
just you can write down the pertinent information
Yeah.
from it and stuff. I mean, because getting photocopies might be a little difficult.
my class like subsists on copying things.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So yeah, you hand him over the originals, and you've got copies for your own uses. And he takes those and puts it in with the other forms that he has in his briefcase there, and says, "Well, I can go ahead and give you your advance payment for that. There may be more, given the thoroughness of your investigation, but here you go." And tosses a couple of bags of coin across the table to the two of you. Says, "I think the agreement was 25 gold pieces for the job. But given the nature of this, I'm going to go ahead and pay you guys a little bit extra. I guess I'll let you know if anything else comes up from this, but good work."
As usual.
Thank you. So how much does he actually give us?
Well, I believe you guys got payment initially for the work that you originally did for the 25 gold pieces there. So this is another... How many of there are you? It's going to be another 25 gold apiece.
25
Wait.
each. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to come up with a total number, but that's too much math for me.
I have lots of money now.
He says, "Well, and check in later, and I might have something else for you on that." Depends on how thankful my contacts are for the work that you did. So, any other business we have? Cool. Well, I heard that you got a little bit more going on with that job for the Calbots. Something going on in the sewers or the Undercity.
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
Just let me know if anything shakes out down there.
Will do.
All right. Well, unless there's any other business we you need to discuss with Haran. Go on to your own.
Nah, he can go.
I mean, he's going to stay at his table. You guys can
He
go.
can go. It's 2 of us and 1 of you.
We pick up our drinks and move over to
Yes, we just leave and go to another table.
So what do you guys want to do?
I mean, I imagine you don't feel like going back down into the Undercity, just the 2 of us?
I don't feel like going at all. To be
Yeah.
honest, but
But-
I've got an errand to run.
Oh? Feel like sharing with the class?
We've
of
got the class of 1. I've got a contact that would be very interested to know what we find. And time seems of the essence if there are dragons involved.
Oh, you mean for that? I thought you meant Undercity stuff, but, yeah, I mean, I guess do what you gotta do. Would I be tempted to punch this contact?
Aren't you always?
Oh, yes, but more so than the norm.
I also might have a bit of a lead on the whole creepy guy breaking into people's apartments, having tea with them
That one I'm
Sort
definitely
of.
interested in.
deal. So if you want to tag along
Sounds good to me. I've got shit all else to do today.
to further the plot. And I leave Sebastian at this table for 2 hours and I go play by myself.
Okay, so the 2 of you are heading to, I guess, where do you go to make contact?
That's a great question that I hadn't thought about until right now.
Okay, because here are the 2 things. I've got a location which is, there is the location of the sanctum.
Nope.
You sure?
Yep. I
'cause
don't
you
think
could-
I could take Sebastian there.
You could try.
I don't think I should.
But as far as meeting,
A dangerous place.
if you want to meet Ashley, that's up to you where you think you're meeting. I want to hear where you think your meeting spot is.
I want to say a seedy bar, but it sounds cliched to say like a seedy bar.
You're in a
think-
city bar.
I know, a different one, obviously. That's why I was trying to come up with something better.
What about I don't know. You got like an underpass or something.
That's not shady at all.
Or park.
No, I've got it. This sounds like something Ashley would do. I think somewhere there's this little, almost like a little hole in the wall establishment, but it's like a used bookstore with like
Okay.
weird, like used books and like occult books and stuff that no one ever really goes to.
Okay.
But I think Cordelia goes there all the time.
Sure. What's the name of this place?
Well, now I gotta come up with more things. What kind of game is this?
It's a game of
I
imagination.
only got so much. What's a good name for a bookstore?
Let's see.
Occult bookstore.
Andine Scriptorium.
Oh, that's dramatic. I like it.
Or the Fox's Scriptorium. I like that. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that's good.
Where'd my mouse cursor go? Damn you, OneNote. Okay, so you and Sebastian head grab a taxi. head north into Upper Guthford, where in the more urban side of the town, the kind of the high-rise buildings and the more developed reaches of it, you find a 3-story building, the second floor of which has been converted or is used as a used bookstore, or is leased as a used bookstore. Heading in through the front doors of the building, little passageway leads to a set of stairs, which switch back up to the second floor, where you enter the shop.
So other than this guy probably being par for the course on punchability, anything else I should know? Just let you do the talking?
That's probably your best bet. He's kind of a dick. So...
I will be on my best behavior.
Okay. So you head in, a cramped little store, low bookshelves, so you can see all the way across the throughout the interior space, with the exception of a few pillars supporting the roof. On the far end of the room is there's a counter with an old human woman sitting behind it on a stool. Has a stack of books that she's kind of inspecting, and then puts like a little marking on the corner of it, pricing them, and then setting it to another pile on the side. And as you enter, the bell rings. She looks up over her spectacles and says, "Oh, good afternoon, morning. I don't really know what time it is right now. How can I help you?"
Oh, we're just browsing.
All right. Well, take your time. If you're looking for anything specifically, just let me know.
I come in here all the time. She never recognizes me.
Well, I mean, are you always just browsing, or have you ever bought something?
Are you asking me if I've ever bought a book?
I'm just saying, she'd probably remember a paying customer more than just someone who always comes in to look.
Yes, I buy books.
Okay then. I think Sebastian's going to start browsing to see if there's anything on dragons.
Oh, okay.
The store.
Sure. So you, as you're kind of walking through the store, we'll get to how Cordelia makes contact here in a second, but as you're walking through there, it's listed, or I think it's probably just simply sorted alphabetically, and you head to the D section for dragons, dragon related things, and why?
Because
and go sifting through the books there, and there are a lot of books on like stories, mythology about dragons, ancient books about knights fighting dragons, things like that. Some mostly fiction, but there are a few maybe like smaller kind of treatises, like historical, like research on dragon kind. Couple books on that. Are you looking for anything specifically, or just like a general like encyclopedia of dragons?
Yeah, I think something about the way they run their societies, civilizations, if they have them, or if they're more
Okay, so like dragon culture.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you could find something like that. I think fairly easy. That probably falls under the sort of general history and lore regarding them. Most of the books not really delving into like modern dragon society, but more historical in the origins of dragonkin and dragon cults and things like that. Okay, so you can find a book like that, and hold on to it. You can make your purchase when you guys leave if you want, or if you're just going to peruse it while you're sitting in the store.
You can definitely start perusing it while in the store, but we'll see if it's worth purchasing.
Okay. So hold on to that. We'll get to that in a minute. You, Cordelia, walking through the store, do you see there being like a back room, or where do you think you meet up with
Yeah,
Ashley?
I think there's probably like, I don't know, it's probably a pretty small place. I think there's probably a couple of like small like reading rooms or like alcoves or whatever. So probably the one in the back.
Okay. And is this something where Ashley usually just hangs out here during the day? Or did you send some sort of message to have?
I think I probably have sent him a message. I mean, he's probably got stuff that he does during the day. I don't know. I don't know what he does.
Okay. We can
but-
make the assumption that you sent
Yeah, I
some
think
sort
I
of
probably
message.
sent him a message.
Okay.
And that this is just where we usually go.
Okay. So yeah, I think there is like a small sort of reading room. There are a couple like reading alcoves towards the back with curtains that can be closed for like privacy to read like in quiet. And they're most of them are open right now, but there's one that is currently closed.
I'm going to assume it's that one.
Okay. Are you bringing Sebastian with you?
I guess. I don't know what he does.
I mean, definitely would have looked to you for the lead. Otherwise, probably just gonna be reading, but eavesdropping. So if you just want him to be there rather than, yeah, he can come along.
Okay. It's gonna be more fun if you're a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So you walk over to the curtain and you pull it open, and sitting inside, looking over a small stack of books, is a tall man. You can tell, so even while he's sitting, he just has a long, sort of lanky build, broad shoulders, not a lot of muscular to him, but is very lean, sort of kind of like a swimmer's build. He has long black hair, very angular features, and he smiles as you enter, or you open the curtain, Cordelia, and says, "Well, I had wondered when you were going to show up. Please have a seat."
Thanks.
And is this a friend of yours?
Of sorts.
You've never brought company to one of our meetings before. I'm glad to finally meet your friends now. He stands up as you approach Sebastian and holds out a hand towards yours to shake yours. He says, "Ashley."
I'll go ahead and transfer Kane over to my left hand, reach out. Sebastian.
Okay. He shakes your hand and motions, "Please, both of you have a seat," and draws the curtain behind you. He sits back and crosses his legs, setting the book to the side, and says, "So, what's the reason for this visit?"
Well, two, actually. I have a report and a question
All right.
of
Well,
sorts.
we'll start with business first. What's the report?
What do you know of the Draconisi?
Oh. It's not a name you hear very often these days, not within the city at least. Dragon cult, dragon kind that stood against the four families during the founding of the city. One of the biggest, say, rivals to the Mephistosi in their heyday. Not much to them these days, though.
Well, maybe. Maybe not. So you're up to date with the bank and everything we were going to investigate, and it seems that the Zartano plot against the Mephistosi is being funded by the Draconisi.
Oh. Delightful. That is fantastic news. Well, you know who would be very interested in hearing this.
You were the first I thought of, but I could think of a few more.
Well, do you have any more specifics? Name of contact, perhaps meeting locations, other arrangements for the dealings?
I've got a bit. I'm gonna pull out the papers that I have, or the notes that I have, I guess, from the papers.
He holds out a hand expectantly.
I will give them to him.
Okay. He takes them from you and begins leafing through them, and there's probably a few moments of awkward silence. At the end of which he says, not much to go on here. Pretty much just covers what you've told me already.
Yeah. That's what we've got so far, so...
Well, perhaps there's more to be found here. There are certain means that we could use to trace this back to its origins, perhaps.
You don't have any Draconisi contacts, do you?
Not personally, but, well, Natalie might.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that.
Perhaps you should bring this to her.
That sounds like an just terrible idea. But it's one of yours, so can't expect too much.
Well, I only suggested because she's in town right now.
You're joking.
No.
Fuck.
I'm sure she'd be delighted to see you again.
That's one word for it. Where is she?
Oh, in the usual place.
Do you ever come to me with good news?
Well, I think that's a matter of perspective, dear sister.
So I think throughout all of this, Seb has been keeping the poker face, but at dear sister, an eyebrow twitches, and then he works to go back into poker face.
What a coincidence! So does mine.
He smirks, I think, a bit in that moment, probably knowing that the effect of that, and says, but if you're not busy and you wish to bring this information to her, I would suggest doing it sooner rather than later. I don't imagine she'll be in town for very long.
Well, there go my afternoon plans.
I'm sure it won't take very long. You can get back to whatever you're doing, whatever you do.
This, mostly.
Yeah. And your friend is welcome to go too.
Just give him a terse smile.
Now, my turn. A question.
Certainly.
Why are the cops coming around my frequented establishments looking for you?
Oh. Well, that's a bit of It's a bit personal.
Well, it's personal for me too because they're looking for me now.
That's unfortunate.
Extremely.
This is family business. I can leave you to it for a minute.
It's fine. Just tried to make some new friends in the city. Cops heard wind of it. Apparently, my contacts flipped on me, so nothing more dramatic than that.
You never were quite as good as me at this.
I have my own ways. But I believe that I will keep my head low until things wind down a bit.
Right. One more thing. We've encountered someone, not sure who, but someone shady, who has been systematically breaking into our apartments, our homes. Myself and the people I work with, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
No, that sounds terrible, though.
Insight check.
Double insight check.
Sure, make your inside checks.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, not great. That's an 8.
10. Oh no.
He is as easy to read as he has ever been.
I don't know. Right, well, with the cops on your tail and me as your primary contact in the city now, it seems. Just watch out.
I appreciate your concern.
That's
I'll be
not what
fine.
I'd call it.
I'll be fine, though. Like I said, I'll keep my head low, and this will all blow over soon enough.
Great. Well, that's all.
Well, I'll get back to my reading then, and I'll let Natalie know you're coming.
Much appreciated.
He picks up his book and begins to flip through it once again.
I leave
And I follow after her.
quickly.
I do pay for the dragon book on the way out.
Okay. I think that would only cost you about like. It's probably a heavier book, a little more technical and all-encompassing. So I'd say that one's probably marked and used. We'll say 3 silver.
Okay. Well, I wait until we're out of the building and away before I bring this up. But that wasn't exactly how I expected to meet your family.
Awkward. Usually it keeps his mouth shut. At least about being related to me.
Do you think he knew, or just because I'm the first friend you've apparently introduced him to?
That's probably it. He's a bit of a shit.
Yeah, definitely on the upper side of the I want to punch him scale, but
And just because I want to clarify, and he'd probably usually want me to clarify, half brother.
gotcha. Good to know. So is this Natalie a sister? Or family? Or, we can wait until she drops her connection to you when we go see her.
No, that is probably a bad idea. How do you feel about going to see my mother?
Again, not exactly how I expected to meet your family.
Well, this one will be the gift that keeps on giving.
Also, I'm trying to remember. Have we specified if you've told Sebastian that your mother is actually alive? Or is this...
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But had you told him that she was dead? Or just she was absent?
Yeah, just probably never talked about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're ready to introduce me to your dear old mom.
I feel like I'm going to be saying this a lot today, but not the words I'd use.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely try to keep from punching her.
She'd eat you alive.
And
My mother is an intimidating woman. And kind of a bitch.
But eat me literally, or...
Who's to say, really?
I mean, is she, kind of looking around, seeing that, I assume there are other people on the street, but is she, full-blooded? Or also...
Let's not go there.
Okay.
You'll understand.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what even to say right now, but I'm here for you, and, if it'll help, definitely come along with you.
At least I'm not introducing you to my dad.
Well, at this rate, I'm gonna, I doubt you have as many relatives as I do, but,
well, he's dead, so.
Yeah, that would make it a little trickier.
Well, this is turning out to be quite the day. Guess I'm going home.
Okay. So
Cordelia
you're going
looks very composed, but also a little bit like she wants to kick something.
You know the place where the main meeting place within the city itself. There is so you get another cab. This time it's probably middle of the day at this point. And you head south back across the bridge and across the river back into Farsaw Heights. The cab brings you just outside of the Midtown Hospital.
Okay, that seems... I mean, yes, it's clever, but...
It's a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
I told them. We're going in.
The two of you jump out of the cab and head inside, past the reception area. They don't really give you much of a mind as you enter. By all intents and purposes, is a fully functioning normal hospital. However, as you head towards the back, there is a set of there's some guideposts or signposts throughout the interior of the hospital. One points to the coroner's office in the morgue. You head down the steps. I know, really on the nose, cheesy vampire crap. You head down.
I love it. Cordelia's rolling her eyes the whole time. This is embarrassing.
You head down the steps towards the morgue. And as you enter, you actually pass the coroner's office. The lights are are off in there. The door looks to be closed and locked. They're the big double doors that lead into the morgue itself, and you push those open. And as you enter, it's cold, very clean, with the pristine sort of metal tables. Everything smells like what's the word I'm looking for? Formaldehyde, thank you. Just a very strong scent of cleaning agent, formaldehyde in here. However, standing at the far end of the room over a table, which there is currently a body sitting on, is a man. Appears to be human, early middle-aged, bald, a little bit heavy set, and he is about elbow deep in somebody's chest cavity right now.
Do I know him? Is he a friend?
You do know him. He is sort of, well, he works for your family. His name is, get this one, Edgar.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
He doesn't notice you entering.
Knock, knock.
Kind of, oh, just put the body on the table over there. We'll get to it in a minute. Just finishing up.
Edgar, have you already forgotten me?
There's kind of a squishy noise. He pulls his hands from the body and like turns around, blood covering the gloves that go up to his elbows, and he looks at you and says, "Oh, Cordelia," and he begins to walk towards you and then stops and says, "It's good to see you. It's been a while."
It has.
Oh, are you? Looks around. He looks around a bit, and then he locks eyes with Sebastian. Says, "Oh, how can I help you?"
We're here to see my mother.
That's what I was going to ask. I didn't know if you had other business. Yes. 1 second, and he begins to like sort of peel off the gloves and throws them onto a tray to the side. Says, "Just got here a few days ago. I was wondering if you were going to stop in. Well, follow me." And he leads you over to a section of the room. There are the doors for the... I'm losing words today. The body storage areas.
Drawers?
The drawers. I don't know if there's a technical word for it.
Only Lindsay were here.
Yeah.
The dead drawers.
Yeah, the dead body drawers. The sock drawers. Even he goes over to a section of them. He pulls on like one of the middle handles, and as he pulls on it, there's a clicking noise, and a whole like section of them swing outwards, revealing a passageway and a set of stairs that descend down. He says, "I believe she's alone right now, so probably the best time for you to speak with her. Best of luck."
Thanks.
And you enter into the darkness, and he closes the door behind you, and you're left in pitch black on the stairs.
Oh, it's so bloody dark in here.
Assume you're gonna light up, or I can, lead you down.
Yeah, we've got it. I'll cast lights.
Okay. You cast light, illuminating an eerie red glow down the passageway and these stairs that seem to circle downwards and out of sight. The two of you begin to descend the stairs, which go on for quite a while, and you notice, I think, Sebastian, about 30 feet or so down, the stairs, which look new and constructed, begin to give way to something much older. Not too unlike the Undercity that you guys have explored previously, and you begin to maybe get the assumption that there is some sort of building, there is something that this hospital has been built onto that you are now descending down into. And finally, probably after about close to 100 feet of stairs and just circling downwards in the darkness, you reach a landing and a set of wooden doors barring your path.
I'm just gonna open them.
Okay, you just push them open. The doors open up into a hall of sorts, something that you don't see much of in Gothford anymore. Looks to be a lord's hall of a castle of some kind. Large, tall, vaulted ceilings, buttresses and other support columns built in and elegantly carved up to the junction between the ceiling and the walls. Everything seems to be smooth gray stone. There are some tapestries and that are very tattered and kind of torn away, not revealing any sort of signets or signs of what might have been here previously, or who this castle might have once belonged to. And the hall proceeds forward in a linear path straight ahead of you. You coming off of maybe a side passage or a tower off of the side of the main hall. You can see where the main entrances to the hall might have once been. However, they appear collapsed and in ruin. As you cross, at the far end, you can make out a bit of light coming from a passageway on the other side of the hall. Cordelia, you lead him down that lead Sebastian down this passageway until finally you arrive in a side room. Entering through the doors there is a circular, what probably once was a study of sorts, probably about 50 feet across, tall bookshelves stretching upwards, hundreds and hundreds of books still sitting in them, a few ladders leading up to the taller shelves. There are some chairs in this room, scattered about, reading chairs in this dim firelight of a fireplace or a hearth that's on the far side of the room. There is a desk just in front of the hearth, and sitting at that desk is a woman that looks up as you enter in a very slow, purposeful way. She has, well, I think it's a bit striking because she looks very much like Cordelia. Looks probably about the same age. Has very angular features. The only differences really being her skin is much lighter, less sun exposed. She has long black hair that trails off behind her down the chair, probably going down to about mid-waist. She is wearing a very stiff corset that is a crimson red with these sort of spines coming up off it all around, and she is currently sitting kind of resting back. There's a cloak behind her that's draped over the back of the chair, with this very thick probably wolf hide of some kind she's leaning up against, and she puts down a quill and pushes aside the paper as you enter the room, and she folds her hands in front of you, or in front of herself, and she says, "Cordelia?
Mother?"
She stands up from the chair and goes walking around. She's slightly taller than Cordelia is, and as she strides around the table, the tall sort of the boots that she's wearing click against the stone floor, and she has a long skirt or gown that sort of trails around behind her. She says, "When your brother contacted me, I didn't think, well, I thought certainly he was lying."
What, that I was coming to see you?
Yes.
Well, it was at his suggestion.
And when have you ever done what your brother has told you to do?
We said suggestion.
Well, I'm glad to see you. And who is this friend of yours?
Sebastian, my mother, Natalie. Mother, this is Sebastian, a colleague of mine.
I think she walks up, and as she kind of stands before you, she like holds out a hand to Sebastian, back of her hand up expectedly.
Oh, which way does Sebastian play this? I think he plays along with it, but does a very, Cordelia can definitely tell he's, his little bow is extra flourishy.
He's got an attitude about it.
Yeah, but also it's not mocking, but it is still, it's extra.
He's extra.
Okay, so you take her hand and you do a bow. She has, and you say you take her hand. She has large gemstone rings on most of her fingers on her hands. It's very like gaudy, and her fingernails are very long and sharpened at the ends, like claws and fingernails. As she pulls her hand back, she says, "So, to what do I owe this pleasure of meeting you and your company?"
We bring news of a new, an old but new to us presence in the city, and we figured it might be best if we told you ourselves.
Well, please, sit if you need to. Make yourselves comfortable.
I'll sit.
I go and sit as close to her as I can, but in a separate chair.
Okay.
Thank you for specifying.
Natalie sits across from you. Actually, I think if you sit in one of the reading chairs, there not being like a chair directly by her desk, she motions over towards one of the reading chairs across the room, and it slides across and places itself maybe 5 feet across from you. Then she sits down in it, crossing her legs. Very similar posture, and you can see that Ashley probably picks up a lot of his mannerisms from Natalie. And she says, "So, what did you need to tell me? What can I do to help you?"
Well, as I'm sure Ashley has informed you, we've been investigating this business with the Mephistosi, hits being put out on nobles, and had found at one point that the Zartano might be involved, but I found something you might be particularly interested in knowing, and I hand her the papers so she can look at them.
Same as Ashley, she sifts through them and reaching the last page and the signature at the back, or the seal at the back, she says, the Draconisi. Well, that changes things. So, you told Ashley this, I assume.
Yes.
What more can I do in this matter?
Well, we're looking to see how far this goes and why, and you're the one with the contacts, so.
I do keep in touch with a few close to the remaining of the Draconisi clan, which there aren't many left of. I could reach out to them, find out more information. Are you looking to report this? Is this part of another job, or are you just merely curious?
Little column A, little column B. Mostly curiosity.
And what part do you wish to play in this, you and your cohorts? I know, based on what Ashley's told me and my own scouting, you and your companions have been doing a bit of work for the families, climbing up the ranks.
We go where the money is.
Well, I can perhaps offer you something a bit more incentivizing. If you find any information, anything further on the Draconisi, on these plots, bring it to me. And I can pay you more than whatever they're offering you for this information.
More than you usually pay me.
If being loyal to your family isn't enough, then certainly.
We'll discuss it. But you know where I stand.
Fair enough. Ashley told me there was a bit of a hiccup with the police and that they might be looking for you as well.
That would be his fault.
I've spoken with him on the matter. I recommend keeping your head low. I would hate for them to make any connection between the two of you.
As would I. For more than one reason.
Is there anything you need? Any help you need in that matter as well?
Who are these new friends Ashley says he's trying to make in the city? The ones that flipped on him.
You'd have to ask your brother. He has his own mind about him and his own plans. I told him as long as he doesn't draw any attention to the family, he can do what he likes.
Like you don't follow him like you follow me.
She gives you a pointed look and she says, I'm just concerned for the well-being of all my children.
Especially the tall ones.
And you, and she looks over to Sebastian. What is your interest in this matter?
Cordelia and I have known each other for quite a while. Helped each other out a few tight scrapes here and there. We've got each other's backs.
And you have no any loyalties to the four families or interests beyond just helping out a friend?
No more or less than anyone else in this city.
I assume if Cordelia brings you here that you understand what we are.
Yes, you could say that I am very familiar with that side of her.
Well, then I trust you understand the importance of keeping this meeting a secret.
Of course.
Very well, then. I'll find out what I can on the motivations of the dragons and their business involved in all of this. And I'll have Ashley bring you whatever it is we find.
It is much appreciated, as always.
I'll be traveling home soon. If you should need anything in the meantime, feel free to come back.
Of course.
And she says, and Cordelia, the accent, is it really necessary?
You don't like it?
It's not my favorite.
Well, nor is yours mine. So, you don't want a connection drawn between me and Ashley? You haven't got one.
Fair enough. Well, on you go.
Goodbye, Mother.
She heads back to her desk.
I leave again. Looking like I want to kick something.
Okay, we'll pick back up with you guys having left back outside the hospital.
No, I want you to narrate us walking all the way back up the stairs.
No.
Please.
No.
Please.
No.
What do I even play this game for?
All right, so you take your right foot hits the first step,
Yes.
and then your left foot on the second step.
And on
then-
every step, there's a bell. And it rings.
Repeat that 200 times, and then you
Yeah.
reach the top. Okay, so back outside the hospital or wherever, or where do you guys want to go?
You look like you could use a drink or maybe something else.
A drink is fine.
Imagine probably not somewhere the others frequent, so we can talk about this day so far.
Yes.
I know a place, and I'll let's see, we're in Farsaw Heights right now. Hospital, no, it's probably I would get us a cab into Lower Gothford and find us, an out of the way bar. Not too divey, but nowhere I would expect any of the others to possibly show up in.
Okay, all right. You find one such bar. There are plenty around town. Find a nice corner booth, and the two of you get whatever drinks you might like. Sitting in the smoky and dim interior, middle of the day, not a lot of people there. Converse.
Action.
Such maternal concern.
And you wonder why I turned out the way I did.
From what I've seen so far, no, that might be too generous. I was gonna say you turned out much better than what I've seen of those two. But I'm also very biased.
Yeah, it was not a warm and loving household.
Yeah, I can barely even imagine. When you've been to Casa de Soto, you know what growing up there was like.
I do.
You doing okay? You still look very pissed off.
I don't like talking to my family at all. So working with them really puts me off.
And sure, there are plenty of good reasons for it, but why do you have to work for them, with them, for them?
They're my family. A family that goes back a very, very, very long way.
Sure, but just because they're family doesn't mean you really owe them anything. If they're, as bad as you say they are.
It's complicated. But how can I put this in a way you'll understand it? It's a point of pride.
Sure, okay.
My mother and my brother are assholes. But my family has a lot to stand on. And a lot to be proud of. And because of some other assholes, them and the other families that are part of what they're part of are forced to hide. Forced out of the city, forced out of their homes. I don't know, just because of the shape of their teeth.
Well, I imagine it has to do with what they did with those teeth, but, I get it.
Oh, right, because the myths still say in the Nerian are so much better.
Yeah, well, it's, the victors write the histories, set the rules, all that shit.
Yeah, well, when the victors are cheaters and liars, gotta be careful who you trust. Anyway, it's a long story very short. The other families did my people very, very wrong. And I don't like my mother, and I don't like my brother. But there's more to our history than just them.
Sure.
And whatever I am, and however the two of them might look at me, I've got contributions to make yet.
I was gonna ask about the reporting, but I think you more or less answered that indirectly.
What if I report to my family?
Yeah, I mean, the sorts of things. I guess let's talk about something slightly more practical to all of us. Are you inclined to take up your mother's, I'm not sure if I should say offer or order, to turn info over to her rather than Tahar and then by extension some of the families?
The thing my mother fails to mention is that she'll get the information from me no matter what. I think this is mostly a matter of making her the only person the information goes to.
Sure, so maybe we should wait until we're not fresh from meeting her before we decide anything. I say we, it's your decision, your family.
Yeah.
I assume, everything that happened today. Shouldn't mention it to the others, not even Pilar.
Probably not. Still working on that one.
Yeah. I'm sure Pilar would eventually be very understanding, but I'm still surprised she's, running around with us on all the stuff we get up to. She was always, the good little girl in the family.
Well,
This might be a bit of a shock to her.
we've all got our secrets. Even Pilar.
And there's a part of me that says yes, of course, but as her uncle, I can't see it. She's just my darling little niece.
Isn't she older than you?
Yeah, but she's still my niece. She's only a few months older.
Right, you're calling my family weird.
Yes, well, at least we're the run-of-the-mill weird. You're the you brand of weird.
One of a kind.
It's the only other thing I really want to ask about right now. Accent?
I came to Gothford almost 10 years ago. You and Pilar know that.
Yep.
Deep undercover. Something stick. No, it did not always sound like this. And yes, I could sound different if I want. But I like this one.
I like it too.
Most of the boys do.
Said it before we set out today. Whatever you need, whatever you're willing to let me help with, I'm there.
Right now, I need another drink.
On it. And I'll call over no, I'll just go to the bar and get us another round.
Okay. You head over to the bar and get another round of drinks for the two of you. Is there anything else you guys are going to do other than sit here and drink then?
I'm trying to think.
Or what do you guys want to do next?
Only that dragon book.
Yeah, I guess we could spend the next little bit drinking and looking over the book together.
Yay! Drinking
Okay.
and dragons.
Drinking and dragons. Okay, so the two of you kind of go over the book as you're having a few early afternoon drinks. Like I said, it's mostly historical. As far as dragon culture and dragon kind, they're, as the book outlines, mostly solitary creatures. They don't interact very often with other dragons, at least depending on the type. So there's certain classes, and again, everything that most D&D players know at this point is that different types of dragons, their personalities, part of their nature, though they can deviate from that depending on where they come from. But a lot of the dragon lore comes, or a lot of the like social interactions come from the way that mortals perceive them and the way that mortals wish to interact with them. A lot of dragon cults springing up in worship of them, starting out with like kobolds and other lizard types that feel the kinship to them, then dragonborn and other types of mortal creatures that then sort of flock to worship and be ruled by dragon kind. Sometimes the dragons creating these arrangements and ruling in a totalitarian way. Other times people actively seeking them out. And so I think where the book kind of ends up is like looking at more recent history, is that a lot of towns and cities found themselves being ruled over by powerful dragons, some benevolent, some not so, and interactions between those political spheres beginning to take shape into something new, as far as dragons beginning to need to work together, come alliances between the two. And I'd say probably from your own knowledge, and I think Cordelia, you're the one that rolled the check on them last time to determine what they were, or your history or your knowledge of the Draconisi, is that that's sort of where the family originated from, while other monsters and monstrous creatures were banding together to create factions. Same with the vampires and the Mephistosi and the Nurian, all banding together. Dragon kind of began to do the same, as a lot of them were being hunted, creating these yes, I'm trying to think of the best words, but against hierarchies of dragons, between metallic and chromatic and things like that. So any specific questions beyond that info dump?
I guess, I don't know if the book would have this info, but like how many dragons are still quote unquote wild and how many are, civilized and in societies now that we're in a modern era?
Depends on the culture and the region. So as far as the what's what I'm looking for? As far as the empire is concerned, in this region of the world, there are very few wild dragons anymore, and the ones that do exist are the kind that have been able to come up with arrangements. So some of the metallic dragons that came up or that agreed to arrangements where they would be compensated for like national defense, essentially being kind of conscripted into the military, at the risk of being killed if they wouldn't. The very few wild dragons that remain do so in places that are inhospitable, mountainous terrain, places where it'd be difficult to hunt them down. And that's sort of what the history book goes into, is like this decline of the age of dragons, and how there are still some in far reaches of the world, in less civilized places, with less technology to defend themselves against these creatures. But for the most part, in the Ryman Empire, it's mostly gone.
Well, I guess this means we're not just gonna stumble upon a dragon in the city.
I mean, I don't feel too bad about that.
Yeah, probably for the best, but it also means seems like we're pretty much relying on your mother to give us any new leads in this. I mean, are we still inclined to follow up this investigation? I mean, sounds like it'll keep paying, but this is also getting a whole lot bigger than one dead noble.
I mean, it is a big point of curiosity for me at this juncture, but we're gonna have to be really careful.
Yeah.
But I imagine the more we uncover, the more it's gonna pay.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll be useful, whether it's, just money or favors and influence down the line.
Or both. Both is good.
Both is good indeed.
Well. Now what?
Yeah, I mean...
There's not enough of us to rob a bank.
No, I mean, there's still...
I mean, you could still rob a bank if you wanted to.
There is still that one job to try and find a cop to flip, though. Again, I'm not super inclined to follow up on that one, but...
Who was that for?
For the Norians, but as I was telling Pilar, gives us a little bit of a foothold into that family if need be. Even if it's just teeny tiny little foothold.
Hell, we can always go back and threaten Gura again.
Yep. Credit that. What else could we do? We could go into the Undercity. Go see. Sure, Pilar's probably talking to Guiomar if she's not at one of her legit gigs right now.
Why is everyone so obsessed with this, water creature?
Pilar's always been, again, going back to the sweet little girl and always, kind and compassionate, and she loves making friends with everyone, even if it is this weird, creepy water monster.
Yeah, there's a point where it becomes dangerous.
Yeah.
And I really, really don't want to go into that fucking cave again.
Yeah, but if Pilar keeps going there, then I guess I will too. Some days, not all the time.
Well, you have fun in the dark and dank and wet cave with the scary water monster. I'll stay up here where the dry people will pay me to do things.
Yes. Trying to figure out if we could also do something about our mysterious assaulter.
Yeah, I sort of had an inkling that it might have been my brother pulling that. I don't know. He's hard to read, so could have been telling the truth.
Do you know if he can do magic?
I assume. We don't spend much time together, but it sort of runs in the family.
Sure. And, I mean, I guess it doesn't... Obviously don't know exactly what he did, but, doesn't even necessitate them being able to do magic. Could be a magic item.
I also don't know what Ashley would stand to gain from messing with us.
I mean, if it had been just me, I could think of some reasons, but with Enza getting hit too. Well, we can't be making that big of a splash in the families already, can we? Putting all ego aside for the moment, CC, and I know that's going to be difficult. Objectively, based on what we've done, who could we have pissed off enough to come after us?
I don't know. I mean, I've been working for the Calverts for 10 years, but we've done nothing to them.
It certainly isn't an Arayan tactic. I'm very familiar with how they come at you.
I mean, it's possible it's someone from the Zartano.
Maybe.
It'll make the most sense. Especially if they're wrapped up in this... whatever this business is that we're in. I don't even know what to call it anymore. You didn't find anything else in your apartment, did you?
Just the 2 cups set aside for tea, which, I'm surprised I even knew it was tea.
What do you do with them? I don't imagine you've done dishes in the last couple of days.
I mean, I rinsed them off and put them in the sink, but I haven't, scrubbed them clean or anything yet. We wanted to head back there, see if, I don't know if you've got any magic that could do something.
Maybe. Can always take a look around. If you don't mind.
Not at all. Not like we've got anything else going on.
Okay.
I guess we got a cab back to my apartment.
Woo!
Okay.
We are lifting all around town.
All right. You guys head back to Sev's apartment. We'll go and take a break here.
Woo!
Woo.
I just feel like wooing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Today's a woo day.
Okay. So we'll take our break and we will be back in a few minutes, everyone. See you soon.
Woo!
Woo. And welcome back, everyone. Thank you for
Woo!
woo. We've been wooing the whole time. Thanks for sticking with us on a break.
Lords of Misrule!
Boo.
No woo.
Rocks fall. Everyone dies. The end.
I mean, my apartment is pretty rickety.
Speaking of which, as we pick back up, the two of you climbing the steps to the floor. We say it was second floor, third floor? I can't remember what floor.
It's like the 5th floor.
Fifth floor. To the 5th floor of Sebastian's apartment building. I'm trying to decide whether your apartment building has an elevator that just is never working, or yeah, I think you have there is an elevator in the building and it just doesn't work, and it's always had like a maintenance in progress sign on it that's just never gone away. As you get up to the 5th floor, you notice there is a notice on your door.
hell is this? I go and I check the notice.
It's an eviction notice.
Well, shit.
Good one.
Haven't fallen behind on my rent. Don't know what this is about.
They're
Does
probably
the-
condemning your building.
If you look over it as you enter, unlock the door and get inside, it appears, though you don't remember receiving any notice of it, that they have raised your rent and you have not paid your full rent. And by the numbers on here, it looks like at some point your rent essentially doubled.
Son of a... I mean... This is just great. Great.
You need a new place.
Yeah, but I like this one. It has a certain charm to it.
No. It
As a piece of
doesn't.
plaster falls off the ceiling when you close the door.
You need a new place.
Well,
Especially if they're gonna charge you double what you were paying before.
yeah, no, that. They're gonna charge me that, then it's definitely not worth it, but... When am I gonna have time to search for an apartment?
We could go this afternoon. I'm very good at apartment hunting.
I mean, we don't have much else planned, but let's take care of what we came here to take care of first.
Right.
And I'll head over to the sink, pull out the 2 mismatched cups that were used apparently for tea, and
What kind of cups are they?
I think one is would they have plastic in this world, or is it mostly glass and stuff?
It's probably mostly glass and metals
Yeah, at least one is definitely
and ceramic.
a fairly plain glass cup with a chip on one side that you just very carefully don't drink from that side of it. And the other is probably like a ceramic mug of some sort.
Oh, college.
Except Seb never went.
That's what that sounds like to me. Ugh. You need some new dishes too.
Yeah, well,
No wonder your face is always cut up.
yeah, I guess I'll start packing things up here if you want to see if you can find anything from these.
Alright. I'm gonna ritual cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
And so I think as she's doing that, I'm going through, I have, a couple suitcases maybe that are in, I think Cordelia's probably surprised that when I bring them out, that I have them to begin with. And starts actually putting away the nicer stuff. So like the suits that she and Pilar have conspired to force Seb to wear.
Put those in a garment bag.
Yeah. And I'll say the eviction notice is like, you have until the end of the month to get out. So if you want to, if you guys don't want to spend the next,
You can't have
It's
that
not like
much
a-
stuff.
it's not that you have to be out today, but it is pay the back rent that is due, or you are out by the end of the month.
We're gonna go apartment shopping. First, we're gonna find out who is sneaking into your apartment and having secret tea with you, though.
Yes, that is more important than finding me a place to live in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, so you want to do detect magic and just sort of scan through the apartment.
Yeah, I'll start over where the cups are. If I don't get anything from the cups, then I'll just
Okay.
walk through. It lasts 10 minutes. I feel like I could probably walk around your apartment in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can probably walk around my apartment in 2 minutes.
How big is your apartment?
It's a 1 bed, 1 bath, but it's
I walk very slowly.
1 bed, 1 bath.
Yeah. And you said you rinsed out the cups?
Yeah,
Okay.
but didn't scrub them clean or anything.
Okay. So I think you do a scan through the apartment. There's nothing noticeably magical throughout most of it. Nothing that that stands out to you, other than whatever magic items you guys are carrying. However, I think the only thing that you do notice is that in the sink, the cups themselves are near the cups. You are catching, and it's just faint because they have been rinsed out, but you get just the little faint bit of some residual residue on the inside of the glasses, or one of the glasses. And if you focus on it, I think the only thing you can really get is the School of Magic. It appears to be enchantment.
Not surprising. The one time you put your dishes away.
Now you see why I never clean up? Clearly it's for circumstances like this.
Right. I stand corrected. Well, most definitely had something to do with the tea. Enchantment magic of some kind, so I'd imagine that's what's going on with your memory. Maybe. Unless the person casts some magic themselves to get rid of the memory, and the tea was something else. Since we don't know what kind of information you or Enza could have given them.
Yeah.
Definitely magic tea, though.
If only I remembered what it tasted like. But, well, I mean, I can't think of what else to do with this. I mean, now we know at least there was more magic than the magic that, knocked me out or whatever in the first place, but...
That's about all I've got. Sorry.
I mean, we knew it was going to be a stretch. Got more than we had before.
We'll have to, at some point when she's around, go by Enza's place too.
Yeah, though. Imagine she keeps things tighter than me, so I don't know if we'll be able to find anything over there.
It's not so much her as if whoever this is has done this more than once, well, the more often you do something, the more likely you are to make a mistake, leave a track, a trace.
Yeah.
They'll slip up eventually if they've gone after the two of you. There's only a few of us left.
Yeah, but... Gods, I'm just thinking they go after Pilar at Casa de Soto, what they might do to the rest of the family.
In all honesty, Pilar is one of the most likely to be able to resist something like this. So I'd be more worried about them if they go after her.
Suppose that's fair, and... Poor bastards in for a surprise when they go after Hogarth.
Well, if they go after Hogarth, they've... are not nearly as smart as we're giving them credit for.
Yeah. Guess that makes Clove the most likely candidate for next target.
Or me.
Yeah, but... I don't want to sound presumptuous, but... What with this eviction notice and this guy after us, it might not be the worst idea for us to continue to watch each other's backs at night.
That is, without doubt, the worst pickup line I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You can stay with me.
We will eventually go apartment shopping, but obviously we've got other things to deal with right now.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could have found more, but we'll keep looking.
Yeah. So what's next for the afternoon?
I don't know, you look like you're packing.
I mean, I'm already mostly packed. I don't have that much stuff. It took me about 10 minutes.
How do you live like this?
By not spending much time here.
That's depressing.
Hence why I don't spend much time here.
Fair enough. Right.
I think what he does have is, 2 suitcases. One is, one is full of like his day-to-day clothes, and there's like some of them are sticking out. The other one is neatly packed, and you can tell that's where he put the nicer clothes. He's got like a box to put some of the cups in, and then he takes the one living flower in a pot by the windowsill and like puts that on the table with the other things. Just like, well, I guess I'm ready to move out whenever, but again, that's got 2 weeks.
Well, now what?
I mean, I know you don't want to go back and see our new friend, the water fountain, but I think we could. There were other tunnels down there we could explore, see if we can find something the two of us can handle. Get a nice payday. I mean, the little bit we found was a hell of a lot of money for. I mean, yes, I did almost die, but all things considered, it wasn't that difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I've been able to handle myself both times I went down there, so it's really you.
Yes, well, as long as we run into not the oozes, we can mostly handle it.
I guess.
There is also the. I'm scrolling back up to see how we in universe explained the bag of beans.
You got those from the safe, the
safe,
personal
yeah.
safe of the Zartano.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
I do have a bag of magic beans.
do you have any idea what those could do? I imagine if they were kept in his personal safe, they gotta be something.
They can do lots of things. That's the fun of them to some people.
I mean, I'm game if you are.
You want to take a magic bean that we don't know what it's going to do and just plant it and hope for the best? When it's just the two of us.
I mean, when you put it like that, maybe less so, but yeah, maybe we should wait for the others on that one.
I want to know what they do.
Me too. Let's do it. There's
One
nearby.
bean.
One beam.
Oh God.
And I think I will lead us out. There's probably like a teeny tiny park down the street somewhere that we can go to.
Okay.
Should
You
we
had-
go like farther away?
Maybe. I'm looking at the map.
You're about to move, so
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Yep. Yeah, there's just some dirt right out front of the apartment. Or no, we go into the back. The back alley, where there's
The
a-
vacant lot behind the apartment building where the
Yeah.
kids
Okay.
used to play soccer.
okay. Yeah, you head back there, and it's a
I guess we
kind
can
of
always run.
probably 100 square foot just dirt plot. There's probably like a fence around it where they were going to build something at some point. There's a break in the fence. You guys slip through that. Big open area. Not a whole lot going on here. Nobody else around.
I have 11 of these.
Yes, you have 11
I'm
of
just gonna
them.
do one.
Okay. You take out one of the beans. It just looks like a little brownish, greenish bean. Unlike, I mean, just normal looking by all intents and purposes.
This is really not a good idea.
If it seems like a really bad idea, we can always run. But let's see what shakes out, I guess.
Okay. You put the bean in the ground,
Yes!
cover it with a little bit of dirt.
Yes, I do!
Where you getting the water from?
Oh, I think if we had known we were going to do this, Seb would have taken one of the more broken glasses and carefully
Then
carried
heads
out-
back upstairs, gets the glass of water.
Well, we decided to plant it before we left.
Yeah.
I just like the image of you guys get down to your place and you're standing there, it's like, shit, the water. And then one of you
I'm
runs
not
back.
going back up.
Cordelia just standing there for the next like 10 minutes, just waiting.
Nah, he's super fast.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. You can probably just jump out your window.
Monks.
I don't yet have the thing that lets me run up walls. Almost.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you plant on the ground, you pour a little water on it.
Yes.
And you wait.
Yes.
Should
I
I
need
be
one-
expecting to fight something? What kind of
Maybe.
thing can
We're gonna see.
Lots of things. It could get poisoned. It could raise monsters.
Oh, fun.
And as she's
Lots of
saying
things.
this,
Roll.
Cordelia, roll a D100.
I got my percentile dice for this. 94. Is that a bad one?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Pyramid.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Well-
This is the one you rolled. Hold on.
It's the 10th and then the 10, right?
I think so. I mean, Sean's coming to look.
Did I read it right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
We're gonna have to run away.
Well, you say that as suddenly, in this dirt plot behind the apartment building, you watch as where the bean was planted, a little bit of kind of a mound begins to form, and you see a piece of stone begin to protrude from the ground, the point of something, which then begins to grow larger and larger as more erupts from the ground, and the ground beneath you begins to shake and rumble, and you feel it moving underneath your feet as something very large is beginning to push itself up from the earth beneath you.
let's back up a bit.
Back up.
I need you both to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh no.
Okay.
Why? This was a bad idea.
Should.
Oh, that's not very good.
21.
14.
Okay. Sebastian, no problem. You sort of dodge out of the way very nimbly, rush and kind of ninja run across the ground towards the edges of this plot. Cordelia, you make it. I think you avoid any damage, but you do kind of stumble and trip the last bit as up and up and up out of the ground emerges a stone pyramid about 60 feet tall. Yeah, 60-foot square base. Make it 60 feet tall, right? Or I don't know my geometry.
Depends on what kind of pyramid it is, but
An equilateral one?
Sure, whatever.
I don't know if that applies to pyramids.
I don't know. Anyway, so
Shapes.
about a 60-foot tall pyramid erupts from the ground beneath your feet.
that's some beans. Do we go in?
Wow, I'm really torn.
'Cause I have to imagine someone is probably calling the cops as we speak, and they're gonna be all over this.
Let's just see what's in it really quick.
Yep. Just checking in case we need to get out quickly. You're okay
Go.
with me grabbing you and running, right?
Yes,
Okay.
let's go. It is only in these moments that Cordelia gets like outwardly excited about stuff.
All right. Give me a second.
Let's go.
Let me put on some ominous music.
This is a terrible idea, and it's the best idea.
I can't believe this is happening. Right now.
Uh,
All right.
Everyone else is gonna be really bad at us.
yeah.
Sorry, guys. You left us alone.
As you step, as you walk around the pyramid surveying the base, there is an opening. A set of stairs leads up about 20 feet to a square entry shaft into about the center of the pyramid. You guys walk up those steps very carefully, proceeding until you reach the entrance, where there is a tunnel, a square tunnel, proceeding inward into darkness.
Do we go in more, or have we satiated our curiosity?
No, I'm gonna go in.
All right.
I have to know.
Yep.
Light. Ding.
Yep.
Okay.
Waiting for the
Red light.
Double
Begin.
going.
red light begins to emanate before both of you. And you're heading first, Sebastian?
Yep.
Okay. I'm still getting some things pulled up here. As you proceed down the passageway, is quiet in here. The only sound coming from outside, the sounds of the city just echoing in, barely behind you. The walls themselves are the walls and floor, all stone, very meticulously carved stone blocks, just perfectly sort of jigsaw fit into the walls around you, forming this smooth shaft heading inward. As you get about 30 feet in, Sebastian, as you take a step forward, there's a sudden lurching underneath your feet, a clicking noise, preceded by the rushing of something metallic grinding in the walls around you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Non-natural 20. A dirty 20, I guess is what we're calling them
Dirty
now.
20.
Dirty Tony.
Sebastian, you leap backwards as suddenly shing across the floor or across the walls or the passage in front of you, almost imperceptible from the naked eye. There are two blades that swing out with such force as there is like a burst of wind almost, and then disappear back into the walls.
Oh shit.
Maybe we should keep a lookout more. I want to try and find, where I stepped, see if it's at all perceptibly different from the surroundings.
Considering you stepped on it, I won't make you make a check for it. You see the tile that you stepped on. It is very subtly distinguishable from the ones around it, only in that the like the grout that surrounds it, there's like a small gap that allows it to descend down to trigger whatever mechanism this is, but it's only noticeable at very close inspection.
All right. Well, we can either proceed forward, crawling on our hands and knees looking for this, or we can just trust that I'm fast enough to dodge any of the others that might pop up.
I take out my broom and sit on it.
Okay.
Good luck.
You sit on the broom. So Sebastian's going to walk and you're going to glide through the hallway.
I can carry both of us. We go a lot slower though.
I think slow and steady is fine here.
All right. We get on the broom.
All right.
If anything happens to my broom,
You solved
I
my
will kill you.
pyramid puzzle. So you start gliding down the hallway,
Screw your pressure plates.
not triggering any of the pressure plates that these ancient people have so meticulously installed within this freshly constructed pyramid
that.
to protect their treasure.
Technology wins again.
I would argue their technology is more impressive, but this is just magic.
This will keep out the
Just
neighborhood
magic.
kids,
Okay.
though.
We'll talk about that later.
As
This broom has
you-
saved no less than 2 lives now.
as you as you hover down the hallway, eventually it reaches a T-junction where both sets of stairs proceed downwards,
You pick.
or both passages have sets of stairs that lead downwards.
Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. To the left.
Great. To the left.
Okay. You head left. Eventually it cuts again to the left, sort of circling, doubling back on itself. The stairs leading down until they level out and open up into another chamber. To your left, you can see the other set of stairs also leading into this chamber. It is about a low stone ceiling, probably 20 feet or so. But it extends outwards about the length of what you imagine the base of this pyramid, this structure, to be, almost 40 to 50 feet. At the center of this chamber, there is a dais. And on top of this dais, there is a golden sarcophagus.
Well, that looks like something we should not touch.
Absolutely not.
The lid of the sarcophagus trembles.
Oh, hell.
Do we wait and see, or do we scry?
You watch as it begins to slide with a grinding noise of stone against stone.
I cast invisibility on both of us.
Okay. As you watch a hand protrude from the inside of the sarcophagus, a hand that is wrapped in bandages, and it pulls the lid off to the side, which then goosh, lists and collides with the ground on the other side of the dais. And then from within, you watch very slowly rising up, arms clinging to the sides, as it lifts itself up out of the crypt. A figure, thin, gangly, long arms, wrapped head to toe with ratty, tarnished bandages, and draped on almost every part of its body with glistening golden necklaces, jewels. It wears a headpiece or a crown on top of its head, and it glistens in, well, I guess the pure darkness. Wait, you just cast invisibility on yourself, so
I don't know what it can see.
you can't see this, but this is what the audience is saying, is the two of you are blindly staring out. Oh no, you can see Sebastian. You've got everything. Okay,
Yeah,
you can see this, Sebastian, but Cordelia, you cannot. And it sits up out of the sarcophagus and begins to turn its head in your general direction.
Oh wait, I had my light on. Is my light still on?
No, if you cast invisibility,
No,
I think
it
that
goes away.
turns off the light.
I don't know.
Well, that's weird.
Light's not concentration. Am I
No,
just a glowing orb of light now?
Do you want to be a glowing orb of light?
I want to be able to see what's happening. But I have
You can be a
human
glowing-
eyes.
You can be invisible except for the light source emanating from you right now,
wanna
if
be
that's
that
truly what
either.
you want.
I don't want any of this. I want you to change the game so I can see what's happening.
Suddenly, whoosh, whoosh, two torches light on.
Okay, I was gonna do something, if that's better. Thank you.
And the mummy stands up from the sarcophagus.
Dumb human eyes.
Are you both invisible, or is it just you, Cordelia?
But I made both of us invisible.
Okay.
But is the broom invisible?
I figured we had gotten off the broom.
Okay.
So if it's in with my stuff that I'm carrying, then it's invisible.
Your equipment is invisible with you, so
Great.
yeah. Even if you guys are
The
still
broom
on
is
it.
invisible, but only the parts that we're sitting on.
So, it stands up. It does not appear to notice or be moving towards you at this moment. However, I need to check something. Does it have... No, it doesn't. Okay, yeah, it doesn't seem to be aware of you right now.
I want to sneak closer to the sarcophagus. Just a little bit.
Okay.
I just want to see if I can see what's inside.
Make a stealth check
Yes.
with advantage.
Yes. They're both really bad. 10.
The total is 10.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Okay. You begin to sneak closer across the ground, invisible,
Yep.
and there is a clattering noise as your foot catches a piece of rock. And it goes, and suddenly the mummy's head snaps towards you, and in some ancient language it begins to screech out in your direction.
I think as it starts screeching, I'm gonna throw one of my throwing knives at it.
All right, let's roll initiative.
No! I just wanted to see what was in the box.
You guys make me kill you here.
No, I think
No.
I'm going to run away.
Well, we're gonna see. Okay, so you guys both roll your initiative, and I will roll initiative for.
I rolled bad.
I rolled real good. 22.
Yeah, you throw that rock. Or whatever it is you threw. A knife.
Yep.
I don't know why I thought you said rock.
Why is that not? That's not what I meant to roll. Oh, I forgot it's a separate.
This was probably the worst thing that could have happened.
Oh,
Haha!
well.
I rolled a whole 9.
Okay. So that's Sebastian going first. You said you were throwing something at it?
Yep, throwing a knife at it. Let's see how roll 20 treats me. 18 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, that does 7 piercing damage. Max
Is-
damage. Whoop whoop.
Is it magical?
Nope.
The blade sticks into it, but the creature does not seem to react to it in any way.
Okay, but
Not again.
But doing that made the invisibility on me drop, I assume.
Yep.
So what I will do then is, hey, ugly, come get me! And I will very purposefully move over to the bottom of one of the sets of staircases, and yeah, because I mean I can't ready my action to dash, but I'm very clearly trying to draw its attention so that Cordelia can escape up the other set of staircase.
Nope, gonna try to steal some stuff, but thank you for the effort.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
You
it's
gave me
your
the
turn.
beans.
It's your turn, Cordelia.
How far away is the sarcophagus from me?
You moved a little bit forward.
Uh-huh.
It's in the middle of the room. I said
Uh-huh.
it was about 50 feet across, 25 feet. Yeah, I mean, it's probably only about 10 to 15 or so feet away from you at this point.
I want to move up to it and see what's in it. Very quietly.
Okay, make another stealth check.
Still invisible. Way better. 24.
Okay, this time, avoiding the rock from before, you sneak around the dais as the mummy is beginning to pull itself up out of the sarcophagus. You peer inside the sarcophagus itself.
Yes.
Okay, well, hold on. Random items. Gotta figure out what's in it. at
It's
this
another
point.
bag of beans.
Swear to God. Go ahead and roll me a d10.
Okay. 6.
Okay, there is a let's see. Okay, there is mostly in there it's like some leftover bandages. There are some like rusted pieces of metal and other like garments and stuff in there, the embalming fluid, some jars, things like that. But inside the sarcophagus, resting near its center, there is a large like gemstone that is I say large, about like a baseball sized gemstone, set into a golden cage.
I'm gonna try to take it. This is a bad plan. I shouldn't do this.
Make a sleight of hand check. I'll give you advantage on this too because you're invisible.
And then I die. 23.
You reach in and grab the gem.
Do I die?
No,
Okay,
but you have it in your hand.
great. And now it's invisible.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. It is
If
now
I
in
pick
your
up stuff,
possession.
does it become invisible
Yeah,
with me?
I'll say it's in your possession now, so it's invisible. Or you tuck it into your bag and it turns invisible.
Yoink. I'm going to start going back to the stairs.
All right,
I have accomplished what I set out to accomplish.
He begins sneaking back to the stairs. It is now the mummy's turn.
Don't die.
It
Do my
is
best.
going. It is going to. It looks out to Sebastian as it climbs out of the sarcophagus and begins to lumber across the floor to you. I need, since it was coming up from prone, I'm going to say it only has half movement speed, so it's only about to be able to make it about halfway to where you are right now.
Mhm.
However, I do need you as it stares out from beneath the bandages. You just barely make out like the eyes sunken and smoldering from beneath. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Another dirty 20.
Okay, you succeed. You feel yourself this fear take over you, but it subsides, and you're able to sort of push past it. All right, that's all it can do because it can't make a melee attack against you right now. All right.
May be a terrible idea, but let me look at a thing I can do.
It is now Sebastian's turn.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a terrible idea, but seeing as the knife did nothing to it, I am going to. About how far away is it from you now?
About 10 to 15 feet.
Okay, so I will get within the 10 feet of it, and I am going to do a whole bunch of unarmed strikes against it because my fists are now magical.
Okay.
So punch, natural 20
That hits.
for 12 damage.
Okay.
Another punch, unless something happens with punching
No. I just accidentally clicked something.
Okay, 22 to hit.
Hits.
That time was min damage for 4 damage. And then I will spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows, which, as the Drunken Master monk, I gain the benefit of disengage, and my walking speed increases by 10 feet until the end of my current turn. So 2 more unarmed strikes.
Okay.
Punch. 9 and a 17.
17 hits.
Okay, for 9 more damage. And then I will now disengage from it and using most of my movement to start heading up the stairs and still. Damn, you're ugly. I can see why you were kept away here so no one would ever see your ugly mug again. I have no idea if it understands me, but I'm just trash talking it, trying to keep its attention on me.
Okay. And then you begin to move up the steps too.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
And using my full movement, or at least up to like the first bend in the stairs, because I have a ton of speed. Total that turn was 55. I spent 10 to get to it, 10 to get back. So then I have still 35 feet up the stairs.
Okay. So here are a couple things that are going to happen right now. So at the end of your turn, see if it's going to use any of its legendary actions. That's not going to do anything.
Oh, I should have
Far
tried
away.
to stunning strike it.
It's too far away for that. Yeah, the only thing it's going to do with its legendary action this turn, because this, you don't have to be within sight here. Suddenly, and Cordelia, you can see this because you're still within sight of it, because Sebastian, you're moving if you're the stairs go up about 20 feet before they circle, or actually only probably about 10 or 15 feet before they cut off to the side. So if you're staying within visual side of it, you're going to be within 30 feet of the thing. But if you're moving out of sight of it, then
yeah, no, I'd said I was using my full movement, so I think I'm out of sight of it now.
okay. So you don't see this, but you do feel it. Cordelia, you both see this and feel it as this dark, like burst of energy radiates off of the creature. It hits you. It doesn't have any immediate effect, but you feel this coldness wash over the two of you. Then, at initiative count 20, it's going to take a lair action. And the only thing it's going to do, our initiative count 20, there is another like kind of pulse, like a ripple through the air. And the creature's eyes begin to burn with this greenish fire. And suddenly its head snaps around and looks right at you, Cordelia.
I think it can probably see me now.
It seems like it knows where you are now.
Okay, well, in that case,
And it is your turn.
Gonna run away.
I've
been sitting here contemplating figuring out the best way to run away.
I mean, I did try to lead it more towards one side than the other.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know
I'm
if it
definitely
went
gonna
that
go
far.
the other way. What I am going to do is use Nightwalker's form and polymorph myself into a wolf and run, because wolf is faster than me.
Okay.
I do this.
So
See what
wolf, wolf form, and you begin to bound towards the steps.
Yes.
You're able to. So what's your distance here? If you use your
40
action.
feet.
Okay.
I can
so
run 40 feet.
Okay. So 40 feet.
Yes, I
up
turn
the
into a
steps,
wolf in the middle of the pyramid.
up the steps and around the corner, so that I'd say you and Sebastian are probably about the same spot right now, where this like T junction, you're both kind of coming up the steps where this T junction meets here. And Sebastian, you see a wolf in front of you coming up the steps as well.
I don't know that Cordelia's ever told him that she can turn into a wolf.
Nope. That is the scariest looking wolf you've ever seen in your life. Does it look like me, but a wolf?
I mean, what does the wolf look like?
It looks like a wolf, but like also like me. It is.
Okay.
It is a sleek black wolf with red eyes, and it's really pretty. Can
Okay.
wolves wear jewelry? Can it be wearing my necklace? Can I still be wearing my necklace in wolf form?
Sure.
For
yeah.
aesthetic purposes.
Sure. Yeah. And you see the necklace. You recognize the
Yes,
necklace.
that's what it looked like.
All right. So that's the end of your turn. Both of you are about up the steps. Is now the mummy's turn. All right. This thing does not have a lot of movement speed. And it can't do that right now because it can only do that as a legendary action. So you can hear it shambling behind you, this screeching, emanating in this infernal language. It is going to look at its spells.
It opens its spellbook.
It opens its spell book and see, because I was not prepared to run this creature.
Well, we're running away.
I should have been.
It gets bored and lets us run away.
Okay, so here's what I think is going to happen. It's going to pursue Sebastian up the steps. You can hear it kind of padding along behind you. However, then as it seems to be getting to the top of the steps, being able to sense exactly where you are right now, even though it can't see you, you hear this in that language again, this Kandishkala, and suddenly you hear this as out from the or around the corner, this swarm of insects begins to pool up the stairs and just catching you near the top. It is going to cast Insect Plague. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. This D20 has been serving me well so far. Don't jinx it. Not great. That's a 14. That probably is not good enough.
That is not good enough. It is going to roll 24 points of piercing damage is what you take.
There goes half my health.
All right. And that is all the mummy can do this turn. Sebastian.
Okay. Is there any effect from me being in the bugs right now? Or?
Right now, you are just, everything is sort of obscured. You feel that ending your turn here would be a bad idea.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to, is a bonus action to drink a potion myself?
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
So I'm going to pop my patent potion.
Oh, God.
This is the worst combination of
You
things.
guys are making me roll.
Why
all
are we
these
doing
things.
this?
So,
Okay. Roll a D100. Okay.
I did 64.
Which
deal 7 points of damage.
Okay, and on 64, no additional effect.
Okay. So as my bonus action, then I think action and movement. I'm just gonna dash back through the tunnel, trying to avoid the traps from before.
That's going to be enough to make it to the entrance. If you are able to make it to the entrance, I need you to make a perception check to see if you can distinguish where the traps are.
Yeah, because
You're actively looking.
I do have 90 feet of speed with movement and dash.
Oh yeah, no, you're good to make. You can make it out.
That's a 13 perception.
Not good enough. You go rushing down the corridor. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
I'm good at those. 22.
22 is good enough. You actually probably trigger a couple of them as you're walking through. Or sprinting through, just barely tapping the ground as you run. Cordelia behind him, that you're probably about to experience some of these too. You see darts beginning to fly from the sides of the room. You see it's the size beginning to cross the room behind him as well. He's just ducking and rolling out of the way. And Sebastian, you make it to the end and turn to see what's going on with Cordelia. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the mummy's going to use another legendary action. Cordelia, you see a burst of, or you feel a burst of wind as a wall of sand begins to rush up the corridor on the other side. You can see the face of this hideous mummified form from within, kind of rasping back and biting out at the air, and it comes rushing. It moves 60 feet, and it is going to. I think it pursues or is pursuing Sebastian down the hallway, not quite able to keep up because you are at the exit right now, and it sort of stops in the middle of the hall, but is now situated itself between you and the exit, and kind of turns back towards you, Cordelia, as it is now your turn.
Great, but it's sand, right?
No, it reverts back to its
It
normal
reverts
form.
back. Okay. F. I don't know. I'm a wolf. I run past it.
Can Wolf still take the disengage action?
Wolf has an intelligence of 3, so we're going.
Okay, so are you sprinting or are you disengaging?
I'm just gonna dash past it.
Okay.
See if I can get there.
So the first thing I need you to do is make a perception check for the traps.
Oh, wolf.
You know they're there, so even in your wolf form, I'm letting you. And I think you're aware of them.
Oh, let's play a game called A Wolf Has a Better Perception Than Cordelia does. 18.
Okay. I'd say that's good enough to, and given that Sebastian triggered half of them,
If I can smell them, I get advantage. Or hear them.
No.
Darn.
But you are able to distinguish where the traps are on the ground.
Only the penitent man will pass.
Yeah. However, you are running past the mummy, who is
Yep.
going to take an attack of opportunity against you. It's Rotting Fist.
No. That sounds bad.
That is a 14 to hit.
That just hits. Wolf armor
Okay.
class, also higher than mine.
How many hit points do you have?
11 as a wolf.
Okay,
And
those are gonna help.
then 44, so 55.
Okay, you're not gonna die or go unconscious. You take 16 points of bludgeoning damage and 26 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, not a wolf anymore.
So that's 42 points of damage minus 11, so 31 from your Cordelia form. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Hold, please. $21.
Okay, you succeed. You feel this sickening feeling beginning to wash over you as this curse attempts to take hold of your mortal body, but you are able to, I think, resist it. You feel that that undead energy of your own beginning to sort of push against it, and you are able to avoid the curse as you rush past. Still in your form, I'm going to give you the distance. Yeah, with you, even you sprinting with your normal movement speed would have been able to make it to the exit.
Awesome.
We'll cut the difference. You come bursting out of the exit with,
Thank you, extra 11 hit points.
with Sebastian. And as the two of you go tumbling down the steps and crashing into the ground, you look up and you see again that sand form of the mummy kind of bursting out from the entrance of the pyramid, and it begins to encircle the pyramid itself, kind of pulling it into this sandstorm as the two of you go kind of scrambling away. And suddenly as it appeared, you watch as the pyramid is covered in sand and then crumbles and disappears back down into the earth.
Fuck me running, that was something. You okay?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Alright, let's get back up into my apartment.
Is it still there?
Yeah, this is far enough away, I would assume.
Yeah, no, it was within a. I think you can hear some shouts from the stream, like, it's like, "What's going on over there? It's like, let's go check it out!" And like people beginning to kind of maybe crowd up to the gates and to the fences. But the two of you can duck back between the gap and towards into the apartment once again, shaking off the sand.
I will say one question, that cold feeling we felt, is that still there or is that gone?
No, that's gone now.
Okay.
Okay.
Whew. Well, so now back up in. Did you find anything in the sarcophagus at least?
Shit, yeah. I'll pull a big gem out of my bag.
Yeah, is like I said, kind of a baseball size, slightly smaller gem set into this cage.
Well, that's certainly very pretty. Any idea if it's magic or is it just going to sell for a lot?
No clue. Do I think it's magic?
You're a wizard. Yeah, it does appear to be magical.
Identify.
Let's say it appears to be magical because it is hovering within the cage.
Oh, way better. Yes, it does appear to be at least slightly magical. Good eye, really.
And as she is casting Identify, which even non-ritually would take a minute, I don't know if this is going to actually do anything, but I'm going to start bandaging her up. Any visible injuries that she has, and tending to my own myriad bites.
You guys both got rocked.
Yeah.
I thought we were getting a TPK there for a second, as far quarter TPK. Okay. All right. So
What'd
luckily,
it do?
not another bag of beans. You spend some time identifying it. What this is a gem of seeing.
What is that?
It has 3 charges. As an action, you can speak the gem's command word, and expend 1 charge. And for the next 10 minutes, you have true sight out to 120 feet when you peer through the gem.
Whoa.
Well, that's pretty nifty.
I'll say.
Do the charges ever come back?
Oh yeah, they come back 1d3 daily at dawn.
All right.
It's in the SRD if you guys want to look it up.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put it in my inventory.
Well, I think that's probably enough adventuring for the day. I don't think, I was going to suggest maybe we go back down into the tunnels, but at least not after another round of drinks.
Drinks, yes. Tunnels. Maybe tomorrow. Ow.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go back to the bar and
I think, do we want a bar? I mean, I've still got...
oh, you could just have drinks at the
Yeah,
apartment.
I would open up my fridge and it's mostly drinks.
That's where all your money goes.
Just Gatorade and
Yeah. Let's stay in.
So I'll just grab, it's probably a collection of various, bottles, beers, ciders. There's probably liquor somewhere. But
okay. And you guys take some of the non-broken glasses, the dwindling glasses, because I'm pretty sure the one you guys took out with you is now smashed.
That one's gone.
Yeah.
And have a drink.
yeah, and I think a short rest as well.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can roll some hit dice.
What time is it? Is it too early to go to bed?
Probably a little bit, yeah. It's probably like 4 or 5 o'clock
Yeah.
after your short rest. Yeah.
Okay.
That was some terrible hit dice. That was a 1 and a 2.
What are my hit dice? D6s?
Yep.
Oh, I rolled good.
I will roll 1 more, and hope for a better one. Not great. Okay. 5 points down from max. Well, do we want to find a show or something? It is still got some. The night is young.
Is it?
Yeah, at this point, it's definitely.
Emotionally, though.
After the short rest, it's definitely about 5 o'clock right now.
Go find a greasy spoon to eat at and call it an early night, maybe?
Yeah, I could eat.
Feel like maybe do we want to class things up, or are we still feeling more my speed than your speed tonight?
I think your speed will do fine.
Okay, and I think just trying to think if it's within walking distance, probably some, little, again, quote unquote Chinese place, little hole in the wall. They know Sebastian very well. He's a regular customer.
Okay.
To just get cheap, yummy, not good for us food.
Okay. two guys go get some street food.
Street meat.
Okay. So, any other plans for the rest of the evening, other than just getting food and then calling it a night?
And you fell for my very complicated plan to not have to go back into the cave.
Oh, we're going back down there, but not tonight.
Tomorrow, maybe.
I guess. One last question for the day I have. You really gave me the pet name Ashton when your brother's name is Ashley?
I never thought about it. I don't think about him that much.
That's fair.
Well, you can change it if you want.
No.
But I'm
Ashton's
running out
just-
of nice ones.
Yeah, no. Ashton's just fine with me, Delia. Yeah, you know you love it.
All right. So, sitting in the, I guess back at, are you guys staying at Cordelia's place, or where are you guys staying for the night?
Probably at Cordelia's, since the
Yeah.
pyramid is still too close.
It'll find you again, especially if you guys roll another 90 something. Okay. So you all get another, go back to Cordelia's place to rest. Off in the distance over the horizon, or I think we get the last bit of the camera panning back to that plot behind the house, and you just watch as the camera pans in closer and closer, and then the dirt just kind of spins a little bit, and then fade to black. Inception. And that's what we're gonna call it for the night. Oh my god.
It paid off again.
I do have to say, for full discretion, for full disclosure to the to anyone watching, we were sitting here talking
We
about the bag of
talked about
beans
this.
before the stream, and like, oh, we're gonna use it, like, oh, okay, maybe we'll do one and stuff. And I was like, wouldn't it, like, well, hopefully, what happens if you guys rolled the mummy part, the mummy encounter, and that was like, haha, that'd be funny if that turned up. And then you fucking roll it.
Yeah, have you met me? Adventure!
I
My
can't,
recklessness has paid off!
like, I
again.
can't believe that's what you guys
Dunk.
rolled. And I can't believe you got the treasure, because then I was sitting here like, what am I going to do with a big pyramid sitting in the middle of the city while you guys try to figure out how you're going to go down there and take care of it?
No, we're just gonna walk in. And then take the treasure and then get out.
And then I was just like, okay, no, I'm done with this pyramid.
Yes.
Okay.
Solved your mummy puzzle. We dunked on you so hard.
You did. You dunked on me. You went full on Kobe.
Go.
All right. I think, yeah, we're calling it there. Hopefully we'll be back in 2 weeks with a full crew, and you guys can relay your shenanigans to
Or
them,
we can never speak of this.
or never tell them.
We'll have to decide.
Yeah,
Hey, Cordelia, where'd you get that fancy gem?
I've always had this.
I've always
gem.
had this.
And neither of you got cursed. I was at
Yeah,
least
that-
hoping.
Yeah.
That was the biggest worry with that encounter.
That was scary.
I know there was a lot that could have gone bad there. I did my best to kill you.
Yeah,
but
I think we pushed our luck enough for today. I think
Yeah.
we're kind of at the end.
all right. Well, thank you everyone out there for watching, listening, enjoying, however you choose to. Like I said, we will be back in 2 weeks for our next session. I think that is the 15th. Between now and then, like I said at the beginning of the stream, but probably didn't hear it because we were having the technical difficulties, we have Wild Space coming up on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Conclusion of a thrilling chapter of our adventure. And then we will have the next installment of our podcast, Cyberscape, which will be released on Wednesday at it should be going up or scheduled to go up at 8 a.m. that day. Check that out. And if you enjoy it, I keep saying this, like, subscribe, download like 7 times.
Buy multiple computers and devices and make separate accounts.
Leave us
Yeah,
a review
yeah.
on iTunes.
Leave us a review. Anything. We have a lot of fun making it, but it's with the podcast, it's difficult to know if anybody out there is enjoying it unless we are getting that feedback from it. So check it out. It's also available on Castbox if you don't use iTunes,
Yes.
for Android devices, and you can do the same there. Like, comment, subscribe, all of functions that I had to make sure in my head were actually part of that system.
Castbox is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. But yeah, I think that's about it, though. We'll have some more video games and stuff between now and then. And once again, scheduling and stuff, we might have some shifting schedules and some one-shots and stuff to replace some other normally scheduled games over the next month, just with the holidays and people being very busy and schedules being complicated. So keep an eye on Twitter for that. That's it. We're going to end it before another mummy shows up. Thank you, everyone out there, for enjoying. We will see you next time. But until then, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Woo!
Woo.